What's up, everybody? You're very welcome along to tonight's late night agenda on the eve of the Reds' trip to face West Ham in the Premier League. Another must-win game for Liverpool. Hell, they're all must-win games at this point when you're top of the table, fighting for that first title in 30 years. We're getting close. We're getting close, you know, ladies and gentlemen. Want to start off the stream by saying congratulations to Aston Villa, who've just qualified for the final of the League Cup after beating Leicester by 2-1, 3-2 on aggregate. So congratulations to them. Very nice of us to, put the kids out to allow them through and all that. Look, fairness, no, fair play. No, nothing but love. Fair play to them for getting through. Obviously feel for our friends Lee Chappie and Boyett as well that it didn't quite work out for Leicester, but should have a handy one against either of the Manx sides in the final, shouldn't they? Should be straightforward for Villa. But look, big Sadio Mane injury update as well, ladies and gentlemen. Loads to get through on tonight's stream. This is your show. As always, please do keep your comments coming. Anything you want to have a chat about, this is your show. Hey, I'm here to serve, so let me know what you want to chat about. What have we got? John Hamilton says hello to everybody. Come on, you Reds. Scotty said, when I get paid, I'll hopefully have enough to become a member. As always, Scotty, mate, memberships are great, but don't feel any obligation. We don't want anybody to be under any financial pressure. That's never the incentive behind it. It's just something that when we hit 30k, we were able to start doing. I see Connor's flexing the new Virgil van Dijk emoji that he made today that is available to our members. So there you go. Another one for you guys to play around with. I know that there's an El Capitan and a C Senor on the way as well. Hello to everybody in the chat. How are we? Any transfer updates? Asked Benjamin. I'd love to be coming on here, mate, and saying yes. I'd love to be coming on here and saying that there's stuff all sewn up. We do have a little bit of stuff about the price for ADAMA 3, alright? We spoke about that. Oh, well, we didn't speak about it, but it's in the stream title for tonight's stream. It looks like United may have finally gotten their man as well, by the way. It looks like that after months and months and months and months and months of protracted negotiations, they may just actually go and get Bruno Fernandes. But again, we'll have to wait and see on that one. I'd love Curtis Jones to play against West Ham, but I doubt that he will, said XD Sid the Kid. I don't think he will either, mate, if I'm being honest about you, or with you. I think he's fully capable of stepping in and doing a good job. I've no doubt about the ability of Curtis Jones, but it's back to the Premier League and we're probably going to go balls out here and go as strong as possible. I went through my predicted 11 last night for the team, and I have the image there that I can put back up in a while as well if anybody's interested, but I'd love to know your score predictions, your team predictions, ladies and gents. Eriksen to Inter as well, which is a big loss for Spurs, but they are very close to signing Bergwijn from PSV. Remember that guy who was linked to us not so long ago? I think Spurs are pretty close. I think either they've agreed a fee, or I just know there's some news with regards to Bergwijn and a move to Spurs to replace Christian Eriksen. Rob Shepherd said, I'll say it, Craig, we've won the league. I'll say it with you, Rob. We've won the fucking league. We're not quite there, but we will win it, Rob. And then they're going to believe us and all that jazz. Has anybody been to the Caribbean, and if so, how was it, says Joe? I was there on my honeymoon, mate, and it was fucking great, as you'd expect. It's the Caribbean. I was lucky enough, we went to Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, Labadie Espanol, which I think was an island just off Haiti that was owned by the cruise company, and we went to Jamaica, Cayman, and Mexico. Yeah, it was great. Really, if you're thinking about going, mate, do it. Nick Bergwijn from under Leicester's noses, said Connor Crosby. Nice one. Love to Shaqiri tomorrow. I don't think he's available, mate. I don't think Shaqiri and Milner have quite made it for this one. Come on, the Red Man, said Mr. Bud. Aston Villa versus Leicester, great match, said Lil Chaz. It was, yeah. I enjoyed it. Sat there and watched the entire 90 minutes. Looked like it was going to penalties, but right at the end, Villa popped up with a winner, and congratulations to them. Big LC said, Craig, why didn't we snap up Eriksen for 20 million? Look, he is capable of great things, Christian Eriksen, but I didn't. This is just my take on this. One, I don't know if we ever had any interest in him. But secondly, his attitude wasn't great in the last few months at Leicester. From the outside, or not at Leicester, at Spurs. From the outside now. This is purely from the outside. So, I don't know. He seemed a little bit of a moody player to me. And on his day, he's class. But he's also, I think, 28 years of age. If I've read, he's going to be on something like 320,000 quid a week at Inter. So that there's probably varying reasons there. I mean, people spoke about us going and getting Kylian Mbappe and his wages destabilising it. Well, with him, you're talking about potentially a future Ballon d'Or winner. Can you imagine the dressing room if Christian Eriksen came in looking for 300 and something grand a week, mate? That definitely would destabilise a few people. Salah and Bobby tomorrow, 2-0 incoming, says Rob Shepherd. What do I think of Simon Jordan's comments on Klopp? If it was on TalkSport, I don't listen to it, Neil Anthony. I've seen and agreed with Simon Jordan on one thing before, and that was with regards to the Premier League maybe looking to go down the line of controlling their rights, taking the rights away from TV companies and putting out their own streaming network. But other than that, I don't agree with a lot that Simon Jordan has to say. And I'm gathering from what you're saying that he was probably going in on the fact that Klopp won't be on the touchline for the game, the FA Cup replay against Shrewsbury, because he's going to be away, as is his right, as is the week's winter break. I'm guessing though, because as I said, I haven't heard the comments made, so it's not really fair for me to go in on somebody if I don't know what they're talking about. Do you think Salah will step up since Mane is out, says Lols Beeb? Yes, I actually do. I was thinking about putting on a little bet for a goal scorer tomorrow, and yeah, Mo and Firmino definitely be the two I'll be leaning towards. I think 6-4 for Liverpool to win and Firmino to score last I checked. Again, I'm not going to mention any names, and I never encourage anyone to bet. That's completely up to you. When I say names, I mean of betting companies. But one thing I will say regarding betting companies, a new 888 Sport video featuring yours truly is up on the 888 channel. It's also floating around on Twitter as well. So look, as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you could do me a massive favour, go over there, check out 888 Sport. The first video that's out there is myself, Chelsea Rory, Lee Chappie and Stephen McCooney, aka Esteemed Company, talking about VAR and whether we like it, whether we think it's savable in the Premier League. Again, love to know your thoughts on it, and as always, I'd love your support. These are the type of things that help push our channel out there, so thank you again to the guys at the Playbook and 888 Sport for having me over, but expect more videos with my bald head coming up, because we filmed quite a few. Rob Shepherd, mate, welcome, the newest member to the Anfield Agenda Ultras. Now, on the Ultras name, I know a couple of people watch our videos and they hear me saying welcome to the Anfield Agenda Ultras, and they're not happy with the name Ultras. There's a story behind this, so I'm going to take a little bit of time to explain it. People said to me, hey Craig, you know the Ultras are X, Y and Z in Europe, they follow football clubs, some of them are racist, fascist, whatever. That's not the reason behind it. Those who are early adopters of our channel and those who are here at the start know that we used to have a shit ton of mods, and we called them the Blue Spanner Ultras, and it was our little inside joke on the channel. So when myself and Connor were sitting down to work out the name which you have to do for the memberships, we thought, hey look, basic one, Anfield Agenda FC, really straightforward. And then we came to the second one, the $4.99 membership, and we thought, what do we call it? And Ultras just came to mind, because it's something that we've used. And again, I don't want to allow these dickheads, these overseas fools that from European clubs that are fascist, racist assholes. I'm not letting them have the word Ultras. Fuck them. We're taking it back. We're taking the word back. And like everything, context is really important. And when we use the word Ultras, we are, of course, talking about our diehard fans who show love and support and are here day in, week out. And we're using it in a positive sense. So we're taking back the word from them fuckers and we're using it in a positive sense. So there you go. That's my little reply to anybody who's watching, anybody who's had a little dig at us in the comments and stuff. And do you know what? We always try and do things in a positive way in the channel. And for us, Ultras just means top level, top notch. Opinion on Bruno going to Manchester United. Glory United, said he. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Yemer, is it, or Weimer? You need him. I gather you're a United fan, by the way. You're saying glory, man. You need him, mate. I think all told it could come to €80 million with regards to add-ons and stuff like that. What I'd be more concerned about, honestly, mate, if I'm a United fan right now, is the fact that it looks like Alexi Sanchez could be coming back to Manchester United, because quite frankly nobody else fucking wants him. Fernandes could be alright. It's one that I'm genuinely not sure about, because it's a big step up from playing in the Portuguese Premier League to going to play and doing it week in and week out in the Premier League. But it's certainly one that we know that your club wanted for a while, and it's certainly an option that you need in midfield. I'll be fair about that one. I won't slate him, because I think he's a decent player, but you need a lot more, mate. I mean, talking about a director of football as well. Somebody mentioned to me that a former PSG director of football has been talked about there, but yeah, it's a decent piece of business if you get it over the line, mate. I'm not going to lie to you. You need it. Just mentioned the Caribbean. There is a tsunami warning on the news. Okay, well, obviously everybody stay safe. What's wrong with Mane? Right, yes, sorry, let me get on to Mane. Joshua Fernandez, mate, welcome. The newest Anfield Agenda FC member. Thank you so much. Ladies and gents, with all your support, we have a fighting chance, you know. Everything that you're doing, the extra work myself and Connor are doing, the networking that we're doing, we're working our asses off to try and make sure that in May, we're still going to be here. we're still making videos and we're fighting. I'm sweet talking the shit out of my wife as well, trying to get the brownie points up. Right, Sadio Mane, which is what you guys want to know about. What's up with him? Well, there's good news with regards to Sadio Mane. There's been an injury update from Jurgen Klopp. Sadio Mane will just miss the Reds' next couple of league games. Now, that's not ideal. Of course, we want to have him available. But the good news is it's a small muscle tear, which Klopp says is a small muscle tear which isn't serious enough. We're lucky that it wasn't too serious. Thank fuck. Thank fuck, ladies and gentlemen. Really, really, really good news there. You never want to hear of a player injured, but the fact that Sadio's only going to miss the West Ham game and probably the Southampton game is very good news indeed, because I was fearing 4 to 6 weeks, if I'm being honest about it. So, yeah, good news. And then, of course, he has that break as well, which will give him a chance to recuperate. So I hope you think it's good news as well. I suppose this would lead us rather nicely into talking about who slots in his position tomorrow. And I'm going to pull up the 11 that I've went with again. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Alright, 3, 2, 1, there you go. Right, so my predictions, 2-0 win for the Reds tomorrow. And the 11 that I've had a guess with, and I want to have a chat about this because I've had some good fun on Twitter today interacting with Reds, and we had a pretty good discussion about why we think X should start or Y should start. And let me run through my 11 and then we'll go back into the chat. So I've gone for the obvious: Alisson in goal, Robertson, Van Dijk, Gomez, Trent. I think we'll all agree on that back five. Then I've gone for Firmino. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, Craig, Firmino looked rusty against Shrewsbury, and I get you. But what are the options? Bring back Keita, who I love, but is also coming back from an injury. Do we go with Henderson, Wijnaldum and Oxlade-Chamberlain, perhaps, which I could totally understand. But for me, I've gone for Fabinho, Jordan Henderson and Gini Wijnaldum. And then up front, I've gone for Divock Origi coming in off the left, Bobby Firmino through the centre as always, and Mohamed Salah on the right hand side. That will give us an option of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain to come off the bench if we need him. And of course, if we do end up starting Naby Keita, hey, that's absolutely sound with me. I love Naby. This is just my 11 that I've gone with. Again, 2-0 win for me for the Reds. But I'd love to know what you guys think and what your 11 is for the game tomorrow. What have we got? The Asian King will score tomorrow, said Mr. Big. I'm sure you're alluding to Takumi Minamino, mate. And again, if Takumi starts, you won't hear any arguments from me. I was very, very happy to hear his honest assessment after his last performance, which was great. Stanley said, what's it like being on 888 Sport? It's not the first time I've done it, mate. I was over there last year. It's fun. Yeah, it's good fun. They're a really nice group of people, and what's lovely about it is getting to meet like Rory Jennings and getting to meet like Stephen and getting to meet Lee and getting to meet Andy and getting to meet all the other people that were at the street or at the filming, I should say. Expressions was there as well. Troops was there. So yeah, keep a watch out for more videos coming. I think that we filmed a couple of pieces called Unpopular Opinion, which if you've seen any of the 888 stuff before, you'll know about. When mine come out, I think I'm going to have to go into fucking hiding, ladies and gentlemen. Let's put it that way. I think they're going to cause a little bit of a stir. Agree with you, Craig. Ori, the lineup. Also, I think Klopp might play Keita instead of Fabinho. Again, buddy, you won't get an argument from me on that one. How do you join the Anfield Agenda YouTube channel, said New King Harry? Right, there's a couple of ways, buddy. You can have a look at the stream description below, and there should be a link in there. Connor will post a link into the chat as well now if anybody wants to join that way. But if you have a look beside your membership or your subscribe button, I should say, excuse me, there should be an option there to join and become a member. But there's definitely a link in the description, and Connor has posted one there in the chat as well. I think we've almost got 100 members now, which is absolutely unbelievable. So please, we want to keep that moving forward. We want you to hit that subscribe button as well and give us a thumbs up. Do I like HIT Sport or the Irish Guy, and would I ever do a collab? People have asked me this a few times, PJ, and I'm embarrassed to say I've never watched anything from HIT Sport, or HITC Sport, excuse me. And it's not because of a lack of liking or not, or you know, anything like that. It's because I don't get to see much stuff on YouTube. So always open to doing collabs with anybody. 100%, no problem whatsoever. I've tried to reach out to Redman. Yeah, we're open to doing whatever. Absolutely. The only, there's one channel I said I wouldn't do a collab with, and I hold my hands up to that, and I won't do that. But yeah, doing the stuff with Troops was great. Which I've always said, if there was one person from AFTV I could do a little something with, it would be Troops. And look, he was a gent. It was nice to meet him. I had a bit of fun with him. What have we got? West Ham's the only team that hasn't lost against us this season. Yeah, Stevie, because we haven't played them, mate. But it's coming tomorrow, buddy. Where am I from? Ireland. Ireland Weimer. Well, if you want to know what part, Dublin, now living in Wexford, but Ireland, buddy. Do I like Westlife? No. And it's like flying without wing. Don't know Westlife. Sorry. What do we got? Could Lallana return to the starting 11? No, I don't think so, Rohan. No, not for me. I think he's... actually, I don't know. Has he recovered from his virus yet? I know he was ill, but I don't think for this one. No, not for me. I don't think he deserves to be in the starting 11, to be fair. Craig, I'm doing the Garda work experience on Thursday. Nice one, mate. Hope it works out for you. Yeah, keep your head down and see how it goes and keep us up to date, mate. Love to know how you get on. Craig, love the 888 Sport video. Congrats. Thank you, Adam. Appreciate it. Yeah, appreciate the support, mate. So, for those asking about the game tomorrow, the West Ham game, it's not on television in the UK and Ireland, but don't worry. Your boys got you covered. We'll be doing a watch-along, as always, starting from, 20, 30 minutes before the match kicks off. What is it tomorrow? Is it a 7:45 or an 8 PM kickoff? I should really know these things, shouldn't I? Let me just check here. Right, 7:45 kickoff tomorrow. So we will be going live from about 7:15, something like that. So hope you can join us for that watch-along. But look, we've a long way to go on tonight's stream. Del Croft, mate, welcome. Newest member to Anfield Agenda FC. Thank you for joining, buddy. Enjoy all the emojis and the stuff that comes with it. What makes... Craig, what makes different compared to Manchester City? What makes us different, Casper, compared to Manchester City? Look, I can give you the cheap shot options. I can talk about history. I can talk about all of that type of stuff. But genuinely, mate, I think it's a little bit of everything. I think it's the culture and the history of the city. I think it's the fan culture, especially with Liverpool, that's different. Obviously, with our stadium, it's been there quite a fucking long time. There's been many, many nights in there. We are a more historic club. Not that I'm having a dig at City over that one. But we can fucking sell out stadiums, actually. And that leads me into talking about something, Casper, because I noticed that Liverpool have put the prices out for the FA Cup replay against Shrewsbury. And the reason that I'm mentioning this is because Manchester City recently, for their game against Fulham, dropped the ticket prices for kids down to £1. But yet there was still there was still 15,000 plus empty seats inside the Etihad for that game. And Pep Guardiola has been critical of the Manchester City fans, or should I say the lack of Manchester City fans, for the FA Cup attendance against Fulham. Even though the tickets, as I said, were just £1 for kids for the game, there were over 15,000 empty seats. And speaking after the game, Guardiola said, "Today was not full. I don't know why. It's a chance to come back to Wembley for 3 years in a row. Hopefully our fans can come, more people than today. Hopefully they can support us more and make intelligent game to reach the final." I don't know what to say to you, mate. I hope that answers your question about what's different. Now, to get on to Liverpool. Liverpool have released the ticketing prices for the game against Shrewsbury in the replay, which we know will feature Neil Critchley and the under-23. So, adult tickets are going to cost £15. Young adult tickets are going to cost £5. And kids tickets are going to cost just £1. And all that information, of course, is available on the official club website. So go over there and check it out for more ticketing information and stuff like that. But good to see that after consultation with Shrewsbury that they've come to this decision on ticketing. And I think it's fair for everybody, to be fair. And the more kids that get into the stadium as well, that £1 a ticket is brilliant, because you want to look after the next generation. It's really important that Liverpool get that next generation of Reds into the stadium to sample the atmosphere, to get to see what it's all about, to see those Reds in action, and to fall in love like each and every one of us did. It's been something that I know a lot of us have been critical of at times, but it's also very hard to get kids in, because you're going to pay full price a lot of the time if you're going to try and bring your kid there, because it's very, very difficult to get a young adult or a kid's ticket. So yeah, great move by the club. Hopefully it'll sell out. I have no doubt that it will. And hopefully everybody involved has a good day. Fingers crossed that the under-23s can do it and they can get their way through. And then there'll be a difficult away tie against Chelsea. But I just wanted to keep you guys up to date anyway on the ticketing information and get a little slight dig in at Manchester City along the way. Because, hey, it wouldn't be me if I didn't do that. Mark Ross said, heading back home in Liverpool in May to see us winning or lifting the title. Nice one. Enjoy, Mark. Have a safe trip, and I've no doubt, mate, it will be mayhem over there, buddy. City don't have class, we do. Also, boo the Champions League anthem, which is mental, Ryan, isn't it? They boo the Champions League anthem, yet it's the one fucking trophy that they really, really want to win. Their owners really want to win. And probably the reason that Pep Guardiola was brought to the club. So it is weird. Take your son to the replay, said Thomas McGee. Mate, I am up to my eyes. And I haven't got time to take more time off to go over, buddy, because I've got to fight for this channel's future, as I've been telling you. The fact we're going over it to a game in April worries me, even though I'm really excited about going over to it, and I can't wait to go over to it. But that's one less watch-along that we'll be doing on the channel, and I want to secure this channel's future, mate. So, yeah, I won't be bringing my son over to the replay. You need credit to get tickets, but to get credit you need to get to matches. Just confusing me, said Cam's LFC watches. On this occasion, mate, I will keep an eye out for, once you're obviously a member, I will keep an eye out for some general sale tickets. You never know. Just keep an eye on it and see how things move along anyway. How long is Mane out for? Just the next 2 games, Live Gamer, which is fucking great news, mate, isn't it? It's just a small hamstring tear, I think Klopp said, and it'll keep him out for the West Ham game, and it will keep him out for the Southampton game. So, again, pretty good news on that. Klopp said he's a small muscle tear, which is serious enough. We were lucky, though, that it wasn't too serious. So, again, good news with regards to Sadio Mane. And they just can't win it, said Rob Shepherd. Yeah, I can't do it, mate, but you know what? We're here to show them how to win the Champions League, aren't we? What's the status in May? I don't know what you mean by status, Casper. I mean, the status I'm thinking of is fucking Champione, buddy, but I'm not sure what you mean. We don't need to have a team in the Premier League as we're so far ahead as the rest, but it's fun to do as many fans like having a pop at us, said Paul. Yeah, Paul, look, opposition fans are loving having a pop at us at the minute, right, mate, because we're fucking class, and they know that we're class, and they're worried about us, and that leads to them having a little pop and little sly digs, and also they know that if they go in on Liverpool fans on social media that we'll probably jump and bite because we like to defend their club, and we're fucking everywhere, and there's loads of us, so they know that usually slagging off Liverpool in the post-ratting will involve them getting a bit of traction. The Cop Council, how are we, Connor? Said Minamino on the left, anybody? I don't know, buddy. I'm racking my brain. I'd go with Origi personally, Connor, for this one, because I just think with more experience, the fact that it's away from home, and the fact that Minamino himself admitted that he still has a little bit to catch up with, a little bit to learn with regards to Klopp's system and how ferocious and how physical the Premier League is. Even though it was against Shrewsbury, he was talking about it still English football. Not for me for this one. I would go with Origi. When is Milner back? I would imagine we're probably looking at, I don't know if he'll make the Southampton game, but I would say definitely after that winter break, mate, we'll definitely have him back. What have we got? West Ham 5-0 win. 3 for Origi, said Kieran. Mate, that'll do me rather nicely. Who's the ref for tomorrow, said Casper. Do you know, I did know that, mate. Let me just check. John Moss is the ref for tomorrow's game, so there you go. I don't know who's on VAR, so no point in asking me that one, but yeah, John Moss is the referee, so expect the middle third of the pitch to be refereed to within an inch of his life, because you know my opinion on John Moss. Nobody referees the middle one third of that pitch like John Moss. Nobody. All I want for my birthday tomorrow is 3 points for the Reds. Happy birthday, Ellie Anthony. Happy birthday. Congratulations. Not going to ask what age you are, but happy birthday to you. Craig, do I think that Henderson can win Player of the Year? No, and yes. And I'm going to explain why that weird answer came out of my mouth, Mark. I think that he could win the Football Writers Player of the Year, potentially, because there is a little bit of traction starting to come out now about how underrated Jordan Henderson is and what a good job he's doing. But realistically, I think the Player of the Year will be between Kevin De Bruyne and Sadio Mane. That's just my opinion. But maybe for the Football Writers Player of the Year or something. I mean, there was a piece on, I think it was the Sunday Supplement on Sky and that, where they were rightly lauding Jordan Henderson and his performances. Bet my teacher at school a chocolate bar and a Coke that will win the Premier League and Champions League. Thoughts? Start picking what chocolate bar you want, mate. And make sure that there's not too much sugar in the Coke. Go for a Diet Coke. But I think, yeah, you have a good chance of winning that bet. It's a nice little bet with your teacher. We're due to smash somebody, said Cape Town Muslim. Methinks it's coming tomorrow. I've been saying it for a while as well, mate. We are due to smash someone, aren't we? Somebody's getting a kick in this season. Somebody's getting a 5, 6 or a 7. So, yeah, maybe. Could be tomorrow. we'll have to wait and see. I was going to say Man City. West Ham aren't going through a great period at the minute, but they are at home. But if we show up, look, on our day, we know we can outplay anybody on our day, but it's all about making sure that you go out there and put in the performance. And look, so far, we can't fault this team in the league. They've gone out there, and the only points they've dropped have been away at Old Trafford. Somebody is due a good hiding. Yep, we've gone through that one. Do you think Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott will start against Shrewsbury? I was thinking about this one, mate. I think they will, I do, Cam. Yeah, I think they will, buddy. I hope. Maybe that's more me hoping, mate, because I want as strong a lineup as we can get. Do you reckon that the real interesting question here, I suppose, is that will Milner or Shaqiri perhaps play in that game, because they're coming back from injury and that might be just the right timing for them, maybe. I know they're supposed to have a week off, but maybe James Milner will take after. I've been out injured, let me play. I want to get some minutes in that game. Where's my Diet Coke? You always doubt me, buddy, but come on. It's here. Actually, it's saying that I might have a drink. Cheers. Any news on Timo Werner? No, nothing, Joe. Not that I've seen, mate, other than that we've spoken about before. Loads of people have said that Liverpool are interested. €60 million release clause. Whatever happens, will probably be the end of the season. But the fact that it's so quiet on Timo Werner on all fronts makes me think that maybe Michael Edwards has done a little something. Do you know what I mean? A little, okay, look, we've got this sorted. We'll revisit this in the summer. But that could be just me being my ultra positive self, mate. Shay Trainer wonders, will there be a Minamino brace tomorrow? I'd love it, Shay. I'd absolutely love him to come in and bang in a goal, buddy. But for me, in my 11, I wouldn't have him starting. But look, you know me, I want to support all our lads, and if he can bag himself a couple of goals, then happy days. Rob Shepherd, is a really good point, mate. We're not smashing teams, but we are smashing records. And hopefully more will continue to be smashed. Rodder said, can't wait for Minamino to get his first goal. I love the love for Takumi. I love the love for Takumi in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. It's great. Some people I've seen on social media, opposition fans, are trying to write him off already. Fuck off. Honestly, come on. The dude's played, 100 and something minutes football for Liverpool so far in his career. 160, something like that. And people are writing him off. And I don't mean Liverpool fans. I mean opposition fans. I liked the interview. I know I keep going back to it, but I liked his awareness of what he knows he needs to improve. That's brilliant. Any news on Havertz? No. And Gary, honestly, mate, hand on heart, I don't think we're going to have any Liverpool related news on Kai Havertz going forward. I just don't see him as a player that we're going to be going for. I don't know if I've ever read about him as suggested Bayern Munich. I've also seen a little bit of stuff linked to Germany. But all I've ever really seen has been from Liverpool fans, more than in the media, mate, with regards to Kai Havertz. He will move on from Leverkusen at the end of the season, but where to? I don't think it'll be Liverpool. But hey, what do I know? Villa beat Leicester in the Cup. Happy for their fans, said Rabadam. Yeah, congratulations to them. We started off the stream by saying it, mate. Obviously, from our point of view and our friends Lee, Chappie and Boya, we feel for Leicester. But yeah, congratulations to Aston Villa, their first season back in the Premier League, and now they're off to Wembley for the League Cup final to play one of the Manchester clubs, probably City. Anthony Davis said, message to opposing fans, clap emoji and WFM, which of course means we're fucking massive. How's your night going? Any news that I've missed? Said Dylan. I'm pretty good, thank you, mate. Unfortunately, my wife has the flu, so I'm running around, soup in hand, trying to look after her like she does me. But again, she's been kind enough to say to me, get down there and make your video. I know that you need to stream tonight, so again, you can thank my wife for me being able to come on tonight. But good, thank you, buddy. I hope life is treating you well as well. Match at West Ham. Why didn't you give them a goal, Craig? Thought you said you give away teams a goal. Yeah, I refuse to give Moyes teams any goals, though, Joe. Do you know what I mean? It's a David Moyes team, Joe. I always make an exception for the chosen one. So yes, you are absolutely spot on, Joe. Every time we're away, I do usually give the home team a goal, but it's Moyesy. Do you know what I mean? It's Moyesy. He's not getting a goal. I'm not giving him a goal. You can fuck off. Connor Cop Council said, hope you're doing well, Craig. Your nan's been in the hospital the last few days, been heading back and forth. Mate, I hope she makes a full and speedy recovery, and love to you and your family, Connor. From all of us, from our own Connor, myself and the rest of us and everyone in the chat, we hope your nan makes a fast and speedy recovery. Would you like to see us trade Salah for the Dybala? No, I wouldn't. Absolutely not. I like the Dybala as a footballer. and I wouldn't have minded us signing him last summer. But no, we're not gonna trade him. Gary said agreed, and in the summer loads of money will be spent by the Reds, and I'm expecting us to drop a few quid in the summer as well, Gary. I know we keep going back to this, but Nike are going to want to hit the ground running. Cape Town Muslim said Adama value ? Yes, we did say that we were going to do a little segment on Adama Traore, or well, we did allude to it with the stream title tonight, and yes, there is a little bit of news on Adama Traore. So it seems that Wolves have named their price for any potential suitors for Adama Traore, somebody who's going to come in and try and take their prized asset away from them. The figure is £75 million, and I think that's there to scare off any potential clubs. £75 million, will that scare off clubs? I don't know if that figure in this day and age is high enough to actually scare off the big boys if they were to come back a calling for him. I don't think he'll come to Liverpool. I don't think we need him. I do think he's an absolutely wonderful footballer. 75 million's a figure that's been thrown around in the media today. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that 75 million is about right for Adama? Do you think that for... Am I right to say... I don't want to say one season wonder, but for somebody who's having their first really, really good season in the Premier League, do we think that figure is inflated? Love to know your thoughts on it. Again, this is your show. It's easy for me to come on here and talk to you about my opinion on Adama Traore. And look, every time he got the ball against us, I was shit myself. I'm not going to lie. But I do also think that Wolves' system is set up to get the best out of Adama. And Barcelona must be absolutely kicking themselves for letting him go. But, you know, credit to Nuno and the Wolves coaching staff for bringing him on. And obviously to Traore himself for becoming the player that he has. I just think £75 million... not for me, not for us. Maybe for somebody else, but not for us. Lovren out the gaff in the summer. I think so, Shay. Yes, I think we'll see Degsy move on in the summer. Yaya said, is it Yaya Khan? Said Grealish in the summer would complete us. I think United are going to go balls out, I think, in the summer for Grealish or James Maddison. And Grealish is a tidy footballer. I'm not going to lie. But I don't see him coming to Liverpool. No, I don't. That's just my opinion. But I do think he's a good footballer, yes. He's definitely improved. If you had asked me that 12 months ago, I would have said no, not good enough. But he's certainly upping his level in the Premier League and doing his best to drag Villa up to safety. What are they, 5th from bottom at this moment in time? Something like that. Cape Town Muslim said 75 million seems cheap. The guy is a freakish athlete. Yeah, he's a tank, for sure. I've said this during the watch-along of the Wolves game, but from a stop-start position, I've never seen somebody be able to get his speed up so quickly as Adama does. I mean, he just leaves defenders in their wake, and the turn of pace and the ball that he knocked in for Jimenez to score against us was, I suppose that sums him up, doesn't it? Hello, Anfield legend. Hope you're having a great day. I'm tickety boo. Thank you, Keen, mate. I hope you're well as well. Adama is worth about 50 to 60 million, said Casper. Why would they go for another central attacking midfielder? Because they're probably going to move Pogba on in the summer as well, Callum, mate. And they need a lot at Manchester United there. Now, I know he's not an attacking midfielder, but they moved down to Herrera on as well when he went to PSG. So, yeah, I just think they need more creativity. And there's loads and loads and loads and loads of talk around the likes of Maddison and Grealish to United. But just my opinion, mate. I think they'll go for one of them in the summer. Evan, how are you, buddy? It's been a while. Haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're well. I don't think Grealish wants to join the Titanic, said Rabadam. Oh, I love it, mate. I love your sense of humour. And thank you again for the super chat, mate. I really do appreciate your support. It makes a world of a difference to us. Hope your wife gets better. Thank you, PJ. It's just one of those things, mate. There's a cold doing the rounds, and when you're in a family, it seems to go through everybody one after the other, and my wife seems to be the last one in the group together. Joe Rawson reckons that Adama Traore is worth around 80 million in today's market. Well then, you never know, mate. Somebody might go in and make a move from him in the summer. 40 million plus Divock, and I'd do that deal, said Rob. Sir Divock of Anfield is going nowhere, Rob. Big game player like Divock. Man that shows up in Champions League finals. Man that goes and shows up in Champions League semi-finals. Bags a couple against Barcelona. Does what he did against Everton as well. Divock's a big game player, man. He earned that new deal at Liverpool, and I was so happy when he signed it. Rachel Mason, interviewer. What do you think of Manchester United, Craig? Fuck him. Yes, fuck him. Which of course came from the great Dave Henry, was the very first one to use the phrase on the channel. Pranav, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Said, hi Craig, I've heard we'll get our hands on the trophy after a final home league game and the parade, depending on the Champions League, hoping to come over. I can confirm from what I've read, Pranav, that yes, the league trophy at the earliest would be presented to Liverpool after the Chelsea game, which is our last home game. Off the top of my head, I think it's on May the 9th. The parade route has been discussed with Liverpool City Council, if again media sources are to be believed. And I hope you can get over as well, mate. It would be lovely for you to get over there and experience that celebration. I can imagine that the hotels are already booked up solid. So bring a tent. Because I'm not even joking. I mean, if I was going over there at this point, I wouldn't even be looking at hotels. Or if I do make the trip over, I'm going to either try and blag somebody's sofa or, I don't know, just get flights that mean I don't even have to stay. Or just stay in the airport overnight or something. Imagine ADAMA under Klopp. I think it could actually happen. It's a Cape Town Muslim. It just doesn't seem like a Klopp style signing to me, but again, this is where we all differ, buddy, and this is why it's fun to come in and have a chat about these things. And your opinion is as valid as mine, and doesn't mean I'm right and you're wrong, or you're right and I'm wrong. It just means we're having a bit of fun and a chat. Callum said Werner isn't that good. I've seen his goals; they were rubbish. Nearly all tap-ins. He's the top goal scorer in the Bundesliga. And a centre forward's job is to put the ball in the net, mate. It doesn't matter whether it's from 2 yards, whether it's from 40 yards. You've got to be in the right place to score the goals, and you've got to have that killer instinct. Now, of course, you're perfectly entitled to your opinion, Callum, on Timo Werner, but he is good, mate. He is very, very good. And sure, look at all the strikers over the years. How many Fowlers, Alan Shearer's, many of their goals were tap-ins. You know what I mean? That's the job of a striker, to be in the right position at the right time. We often say when a footballer or striker's missing opportunities, let's use Mohamed Salah as an example. We've often said that Salah's missing loads of sitters lately, or he's missing loads of chances, but he's getting into the right positions, and that's what you want from a forward. Traore worth more than Werner? Nah, said Shay Trainer. Ryan had the flu himself lately. Oh, well, I'm glad you're over it, mate, and thank you for the kind words. Ori, my wife. John Cable said, have you seen the Genie interview saying he doesn't know what's happening with his future? Seen lots of fans freaking out about it. He still has 18 months left. Look, John, I have no doubt in my mind that Liverpool Football Club will sit down and talk cheddar with Genie Wijnaldum and his agent, because Genie has been the model of consistency at this football club, and none of us want him to go anywhere. We all want him to sign an extension to his contract, and to be fair to the club, they've been very good about getting things like that done. Divock could have walked on a free, they got that done. They've improved the contacts of Sadio Mane, they've improved the contacts of Firmino, they've improved the contract for Salah. So the club aren't shy about offering players that they believe deserve a new deal. Genie's getting lots of playing time, but maybe he just wants to see how the land will lay with regards to his playing time in the future. But I think they'd be mad not to, mate. You've got to offer Genie a new deal. I mean, I can't imagine any scenario that they wouldn't. And look, it doesn't take much for us football fans, particularly us Reds, to freak out about stuff or to overreact to stuff. It's part of the fun of being a Liverpool fan. Callum said, I hate tap-ins. Fair enough, mate. I fucking guarantee you one thing though, Callum. If we won the Champions League final with a tap-in from 2 yards, buddy, like the rest of us, you'd be doing dancing and you'd be cartwheeling around your sitting room. Come on, mate, admit it. You know I'm right, Callum. Werner's finishing a movement is world class, said Shay. Rush had a canny knack for being in the right place at the right time. You can't teach it, said Stephen Booker. Anybody know how Grujic is playing this season? Honestly, no. Craig, I'm not going to lie to you. I know Hertha aren't doing great, but I honestly couldn't tell you. I haven't been keeping an eye on Marco Grujic or his progression this season, and that's just me being honest, buddy. I'm sure other people in the chat have. I remember last season, the Hertha manager saying he's the best midfielder the club have had in a decade, so that was high praise. But no, yeah, it's a good question. Maybe somebody in the chat has been watching more than I have, which wouldn't be too hard, to be fair. Khan said, in my opinion, Traore will be a Liverpool player next season. I think Jadon Sancho could be a Liverpool player next season. I think Timo Werner could be a Liverpool player next season. Don't think Kai Havertz could be. I don't think Traore will be. I think this is another one of those where Liverpool fans have been rightly impressed by what they've seen from Traore, but Wolves are a club who, don't need to sell. Wolves are a club who are pushing for European places again this season after qualifying for the Europa League. And they've brought in some very good players, and they've got some good people behind the club. So, I don't know, maybe he'll stay there. Since they signed Alisson, Adrian, VVD, Robbo, Fabinho, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Naby, Shaqiri, Mane and Salah have never lost a league game at Anfield. I'd seen the Anfield Wrap, I think it was, Jonathan, post that earlier on. And how fucking mad is that? How mental is that? Keane is liked and sub. Thank you, Keane. Really appreciate it. If you're like Keane and you are enjoying the stream, ladies and gentlemen, please do hit that subscribe button. Give the stream a thumbs up. And keep your comments coming. We've got loads of time left on tonight's stream. Probably 30-35 minutes to go. So keep your comments coming. Anything else you want to have a chat about. Bit of news on Daniel Sturridge, which I'll be talking about in a few minutes as well. And again, the memberships are open to anybody that wants to join. And Connor said there, become the 100th official member of the Unfilled Agenda YouTube channel. We're 99 at the minute. Nice one. So yeah, there is a link there as well if that is for you. If not, hey, don't worry about it. You're still going to get your comments right out and we're still going to have fun. We're a selling club. No, we're not, Casper. How are we a selling club? That's just... I don't know. I don't want to get into an argument, Casper, mate. But all clubs sell footballers. Of that, we know. In the past, Liverpool haven't been in the place where we are now. And we moved on Luis Suarez. We moved on Felipe Coutinho. But importantly, look what we did with that Felipe Coutinho money. We brought in Virgil van Dijk and we brought in Alisson Becker. And right now, we are not a selling club. People have tried to buy Bobby Firmino. People have tried to buy Sadio Mane. People have tried to buy Mohamed Salah. And Liverpool have told them, no joy, it ain't happening, don't even ask. So I think the days of us potentially being bullied into selling a player are over. Now, players will always have some power when it comes to wanting to move on. But Liverpool right now is a destination club, Casper. It is a club on the up and up, right at the pinnacle of world football. A club that people should be crawling over broken glass to come and play for. So yeah, I don't see us as a selling club, mate. No, I think we're a very financially stable club with one of the best managers in the world, with the best fans in the world, that people will want to come and play for. And people that are here love being here. We've seen numerous occasions now where people have moved on, thinking the grass is greener, it hasn't worked out. Ask Coutinho what it's been like since he left Liverpool. Ask Emre Can what it's been like since he left Liverpool. So it doesn't always work out, and I think people are realising that. But no, we're not a selling club, and no, nor will we be bullied by anybody now. Rob said, Craig, watching Only Fools and Horses, am I a fan? I am a fucking massive fan, Rob. I have a complete box set of Only Fools and Horses. A box set, DVD set in this lovely display case thing, and it's one of my pride and joys. I love Only Fools and Horses, Rob, and it, even though it's as old as it is and we've seen it as many times as we have, I still, time on our hands, that episode where they find the watch, that still almost makes me cry, Rob, every time I watch it. Aidan Andrew said Liverpool wasn't winning in those times when we were selling, and yeah, look, sometimes you need to sell. Sometimes it gets to a point where you look and go, right, let's use Coutinho again as an example. We didn't want to sell Coutinho, but it had gotten to a point where the line had been drawn in the sand and Klopp said, okay, let's sell him. But it's how you reinvest that money at times. It's helped push us on as a club. It's helped to get us to where we are right now. And yeah, like, football changes and our status in world football has risen again. So, yeah. We're not a selling club anymore, but I think you've corrected yourself there and said, sorry, I meant are we a selling club? That's alright, mate. It's only a question, Casper. You're perfectly entitled to ask it, mate. But I hope I've given you an answer. Roblox said, I loved counting play for us. Suarez, amazing player. Oh, I think you meant Coutinho playing for us. And Suarez, amazing players. Both of them had successful careers. Suarez once got a 92 rating. Suarez was unplayable, mate, at times for us. I was privileged enough to be at the game where he scored 4. Madness. The dude was unplayable at times. When he was here, I idolised him, I'm not going to lie. And Coutinho as well, look, 8.5 million to bring him in from Inter when he was out in the cold, in the wilderness there. And Liverpool transformed him, and for, whatever reason, didn't work out from a Barcelona, and now he's on loan at Bayern Munich. In all fairness, it worked out for Suarez. Yes, it did. Absolutely. But Suarez, there was a difference with the Suarez thing. As far as I'm aware, his wife's family were living in Barcelona, I think. And Suarez's dream was always to go and play, much like it was Coutinho. You know, some South American footballers look at the likes of Real Madrid and look at Barcelona, and that is their dream. And Suarez has gone and won Champions Leagues, La Liga titles and other stuff over there. And as you've pointed out, Steve, yes, it has worked out for him. But Liverpool weren't that club, mate. Right now, Liverpool are a better team than Barcelona. You might say, fuck off, they've got Lionel Messi. Granted, he's the GOAT. But I've watched Barcelona enough this season to know that if both of us are at it, we beat them easily. And I mean easily. And the fact that we beat them 4-3, I think, was very generous to them, because we all know that the game in the Nou Camp was never an actual 3-0 game. Yes, of course, it was a 3-0 game, but you know what I'm coming from on that one. I'll buy the sandwiches because you bought the rolls. Exactly, Craig. Exactly. Beautiful. Yeah, it was good. And the writing as well, Noni Puss and Horses, out of this world. Like, some of the best comedy writing ever, and the performances of Nicholas Lyndhurst and David Jason, just amazing. Big fan of McGregor, am I, said PJ Ladd. I'm a big fan of him inside the octagon, fighting, mate, yes. Because the dude is unbelievable talent when he's at it, when he puts it in. But I'm not a big fan of some of his antics outside of the octagon. But like all of us, he's living and learning, he's moving on. And if he keeps his head down and he gets his rematch with Khabib or Tony Ferguson, whoever wins that fight, then it will be very interesting to see if a different Conor McGregor shows up, or if he's capable of beating Khabib at all. I won't profess to be the world's biggest MMA fan. No, I'm a boxing fan. I'm a boxing purist. But I would do watch it, yeah. I do appreciate McGregor, and I did watch him destroy Cowboy in 40 seconds. Those shoulders. The change of levels, as he said. So clever. Roy Hodgson and Brendan Rodgers damaged their club. Well, along with bad ownership, mate, and some bad investments as well. I mean, if you were listening to Hicks and Gillette, they would tell you that the global financial crisis fucked over their ownership, but, you know, we all know that they were just never fit to own this football club. Craig, do you think we missed a trick not signing Haaland? Look, he's going to be a great player, mate. What has he scored? 5 goals in, like, 50 minutes? Something like that for Dortmund. And he will be a superstar, no doubt about it. But that was the right move for him at this point in his career. I think whoever represents him did a very good job bringing him to Dortmund, because I think it will further his development. And he's so young that there's big moves for him ahead, no doubt about it. But he's had a good club, playing Champions League football in front of the yellow wall week in and week out. I think it was the right move for him at this moment in his career. Evening, Craig. How's it going? Very good, thank you, Flair. I hope life's well for you. I think our worst person was Gerrard. He slipped and then let in a goal. Could have walked the league. Blah blah blah. Don't ever say a bad word about Steven Gerrard, mate. It's just not happening. Sorry. You think he slipped on purpose, do you? I'm fucking sick to death of talking about that poxy slip, as every Liverpool fan is. It's like one of the only things that people have to throw at us. My memories of Steven Gerrard is him rising us from the ashes, scoring that header that helped bring us back in the Champions League final. My memory of Steven Gerrard is in the final against West Ham, when we were losing and he was so tired that all he could muster himself to do was to take a shot from 35-40 yards. And what did he do? He ripped it into the net. My memories of Steven Gerrard are of us against Olympiacos when time was running out and Steven Gerrard stepped up like the leader, like the captain, like the charismatic figure that he is, and fucking banged one in against Olympiacos and sent us through, and we won in Istanbul that year. They're my memories of Steven Gerrard, and they're the memories that every self-believing, self-righteous Liverpool fan should have of Steven Gerrard. Not the slip. The slip can happen to any player. Steven Gerrard's spoken about that slip, and he's going to be as happy as anybody else when Jordan Henderson raises that Premier League title aloft. But how could you have anything? You're either a troll, mate, or I don't know. I don't want to insult you, but to talk about Steven Gerrard like that, come on, Stevie G. I feel like you've insulted a member of my family. Craig, are you staying on beyond May? Don't know, is the honest answer, Casper. I can't give you an honest answer. We're working behind the scenes to try and maybe bring a sponsor on to help the channel. We're working to create relationships to maybe help branch out into other things And we're fighting to just keep things moving along. But we'll continue to fight right up to May, mate, as we've always said. To be honest, I don't want Sancho, said Steve. Don't need his off-field antics at the club. See, I was worried about that as well for a good while, Steve. I'd heard about him coming back late from international duty. I'd heard about him being fined at Dortmund. I've heard about him being sent to train with the underage kids as well. But the more I thought about this, I looked at what he does on the pitch and I looked at his development. I mean, to go over there at such a young age from leaving Manchester City and to play in such a big stadium in front of such a warm but demanding crowd, I think we've seen that there's a player there and we've seen that he's able to deal with the big occasion. Now, Jurgen Klopp will of course look into the background of any potential signing for Liverpool Football Club, 100%. But I've changed my opinion on that worry about Sancho from what I've seen on the pitch. And we always have to take into account that he's a young player in a foreign country and had the balls to go over there and make that move and back himself. And it's paying off. So he's obviously got something about him, that self-belief that you need. That little touch of arrogance that you need to be one of the greats. Gary Richards said that he'd take Timo Werner. I mean, I think most of us in the chat would. He's I don't give a shit if someone wants to call him a tap-in merchant. I'll have him, no problem. Werner, please, Sir Klopp, said Shay Trainer. Your dad's a West Ham fan, so this one will be interesting, said Flair. It's always fun to have a bit of in-family banter, isn't it, when it comes to games like that. So just keep it clean. Well, I don't want to tell you what to do. It's your own dad, but just have a bit of fun. And be nice if we beat him. Be nice. How could you predict the future of football in 10-15 years time? Good and bad, evolution of the game, wage, transfer fees, success of other LFC clubs, leagues, etc. Oksana. Ooh, that's a really interesting question, and one for me to do it real justice, Oksana, I'd have to, take some real time to think about it. But I'll give you a quick answer as best I can. I see changes to the Champions League. I see a bigger push from some of Europe's elite towards a breakaway European league. I'm not saying that that's going to happen. I think that the money will continue to rise in football and clubs will find new ways of bringing in income. I think that virtual reality is going to be massive. I mean, somebody pointed this out to me before, somebody who worked in the industry. Imagine being able to watch Liverpool training with a virtual reality headset. And as Sadio Mane puts in a cross, you get a little pop-up that says 10% off Sadio's training jersey, or that training shirt if you want to buy it right now, and stuff like that. Imagine if you were in a position where virtual reality had a couple of cameras, again the same person told me this, posted around the stadium, and you were able to sell virtual reality season tickets, so you could sit in the cop and sit at home with your virtual reality mask on. Imagine how many season tickets, and imagine how much income football clubs could generate from having those few cameras in and around the stadium. That's where I see football going. And I think with regards to the English pyramid or the English tier, I've long been of the mindset, like many other people, that there are probably too many professional football clubs in England that it can't be maintained. At this moment in time, we're hearing many people having a go at Jurgen Klopp for the fact that he will be fielding an under-23s team and he won't be there, Neil Critchley will be there. And this has opened up the debate again to, should clubs in the Premier League, should trickle-down economics come into play and that type of thing. And look, hey, I'm not a football economist, far from it, but I'm a football fan that, like you guys, has an opinion. And I think that there are too many professional divisions, and I think maybe in England they need to look at maybe regionalising some of the lower leagues a little bit more. And how many professional leagues have we got now? Premier League, Championship, League 1, League 2. That's 4 divisions of professional football. I'm not saying the football club should go by the wayside. Nobody wants that to happen. But I don't think the likes of introducing the 3rd European competition, Europa League 2 or whatever they're going to call it, I don't think that's the answer either. And look, I remember football clubs like Bolton, like Oldham, like Bury. And the thing that makes it extra tough about English football is, of course, that English football is so historic. And English football has so many storied clubs and so many wonderful traditions. And nobody wants to see them go to the wall. But it's a really difficult conversation, mate. And it's a podcast, actually, I'd love to do. thank you so much for putting it into the chat, because it's a very interesting topic, and the next time I sit down with the guys in person or I get to do a podcast, that's exactly a good topic, mate, for us to chat about. So thank you for the question. Steve said it's incredible that by the time City play Spurs, we could be on 73 points. In 15 years' time, Trent will be playing in midfield for Liverpool alongside Milner Jr. I like that, buddy. And captaining. Don't forget captaining. Facts. 3 of the last 5 transfer windows, Liverpool have a net surplus. All in all, Liverpool has spent £107 million, I think you've said, in the past 5 seasons. That's number 14 in the Premier League. Look, football finances are very complicated, and I'll keep telling you, I'm not qualified to talk about them, but yeah, simplistically, you can talk about a figure that you've sold and a figure that you've bought for. But, you know, there's amortization to take into account. There's agents' fees, there's VAT, there's super agents' fees, there's loyalty bonuses. There's so much more that goes into a transfer than simply buying for X and selling for Y. But we have been very clever in the market. That's not even up for debate. You're spot on about that. And we certainly haven't been one of the biggest net spenders, if you want to use that term. What do I think about Nike and transfers? Will they actually help us in getting players? Yes. I think Nike weren't my first choice, man. I'm an Adidas fanboy. Everybody that watches the channel knows that. But I'm also loyal, so you will see me buying more Nike hoodies and more Nike, obviously Liverpool merchandise and stuff as well. The deal that we've got with Nike is brilliant. So a guaranteed, again, rumoured 30 million a year and 20% of any kit sales or any Nike Liverpool merchandise sold, which could add up to a rather significant amount of money and could help, again, pay for a big signing. Nike will want to push Liverpool out there. You've already seen them talking about using LeBron James, using Drake, Serena Williams, other massive Nike ambassadors. So yeah, it's going to be a good thing. And they will open doors for Liverpool without a shadow of a doubt and push us on. And we want to be the biggest club in the world. That has to be our ambition. We can say we're the best club in the world, but we want to grow to become the biggest club in the world. And you need big commercial partners like Nike to make that happen. So yeah, it's great. I want what's best for the football club, mate. Always will. Questions tonight are absolute belters, by the way. Keep them coming, ladies and gentlemen. Again, don't forget, if you're enjoying the stream, hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. If you haven't yet joined, I don't know if we've got our 100th member yet, but memberships on the channel are open. 99p and 4.99. Both of them gives you use of all the cool emojis. The Klops, the Fuckum, the new Virgil van Dijk one, the WFM one, the Goal one, the Salah one, and every other emoji, the Craig Bald emoji, and all the other bits and pieces as well. If you join the Anfield Agenda Ultras, that will get you access to our Discord group, which we're going to use to get ideas and to bounce things off you guys about the future of the channel and what you want to see and what you don't want to see. And you're also helping, of course, to move the channel on and secure our future, which is very, very, very much appreciated. But as I've always said, don't feel... If you can't do it, if you haven't got the money, if you're a young person watching, don't worry about it. Keep your comments coming. Most important to us is your love, your support, the fact that you tune in every night to watch, the fact that you have gotten us to where we are. And we'll never forget that. Don't you worry about that. We're going to keep trying to read out as many of your comments as we can. Milner will be still playing in the 70s, said Flair. Klopp boys Moneyball style. Nah, he doesn't. That's just a lazy thing that was thrown around when FSG came in, that they looked at statistics. I mean, any football transfer these days, of course, you're going to have the guys in the background, the sports scientists. You're going to have people looking into a player's background. But the thing about Moneyball was, I think, to find value. And it was a lot more workable in baseball because it was, you know, you could work off stats, you could work off unappreciated players or players that were perceived one way but were actually performing a different way. Football transfers and scouting is very, very high tech these days and way above my head, mate. But I just, that old Moneyball thing, I think, you know, it was only really for that film. It was only really for the Red Sox. And whilst I think we did toy around a little bit with some weird model when FSG first came in, I don't think that's the way we do things. Craig, is the podcast you were doing stopped on this channel? Yes, Casper, it has, mate, because we want to if we start to do a podcast again, we want it to be in an Anfield Agenda office, and we want to do it professionally, and we want to be sitting in a room together, and it to be a proper video podcast, and that's where the big decision comes in May. Like I'm saying before, do we make that big push to try and make Anfield Agenda a big boy, a player, a real professional outfit? Obviously staying with all the stuff that we do, but do myself and Connor put our financial futures on the line? Do we take a risk? These are the conversations that we have to have, that I have to have with my wife, and these are the things that people probably keep hearing me say May and go, what the fuck do you keep saying May for? Obviously May's the end of the season, but that's also a deal I made with my wife last summer that we'll reassess, and hey, we will. But look, don't stress, it's all good, ladies and gentlemen. Interestingly, we did have an offer to sell the channel. I posted that on Twitter, which is not something we'd ever do, because the channel is us. It's all of us. It's me, it's Connor, it's you. So to sell it on to somebody else, it just wouldn't seem right. I mean, it was lovely to get the offer, don't get me wrong, but if in May it stops, it stops. We're not selling Anfield Agenda to anybody else, because, you know, it's like it's our kid. Do you know what I mean? Am I doing a transfer deadline show on Friday? No, because nothing will be happening, mate. I mean, maybe Kleiny going back to Bournemouth or something, but yeah, nothing like that. Nothing really from a Liverpool perspective. I have a little bit of news on Daniel Sturridge, actually. I know he's no longer a Liverpool player, but he might be on the move again. It looks like Aston Villa are trying to bring Daniel Sturridge back to the Premier League with a reported £4.2 million bid for Trabzonspor. The article in the Echo via Fanatic goes on to suggest that the Turkish club would be happy to get Daniel Sturridge's wages off the books. Now, I don't know if it's true or it's not true, but again, former Liverpool player, could be on his way back. I mean, he's from Birmingham, isn't he? So, makes sense. You know what, Craig? It feels like a lifetime ago we were in Kiev. It really does, mate. Even that Barcelona watch-along and that game, that feels like a lifetime ago. I hope he's on a top-class centre-back to compete with VVD and Joe Gomez, as Matip and Lovren are too injury-prone and their records state that. I'd love Craig's opinion on this, said Brian. Thank you for the question, Brian. I'm kind of in agreement with you. Lovren, I think, will move on in the summer. There's been too many links over the past couple of windows for him not to move on. The question then is, how does Nat Phillips develop? How does Kylian Hoover develop? How does Sepp van den Berg develop? And how quickly can they develop? If you were to move Dejan Lovren on, and we've been linked to Diego Carlos from Sevilla, Matip I don't think will be going anywhere because he signed a new deal. So obviously Jurgen Klopp, the club, and Matip accept the situation for whatever it is. He does seem to pick up a lot of knocks, but in that regard, he also played quite a while there when we needed him. So I think there's something to what you're saying. I just don't have the stats to give the absolute and honest truth about it. But if Lovren does move on, it's a difficult call, mate. It really is, because Sepp van den Berg was very, very highly thought of when we signed him. Bayern Munich were trying to sign him, and many other top European clubs. How quickly can his development come through? I don't know. Kylian Hoover as well, an absolute baller of a young fella, and is going to be a wonderful footballer. Nat Phillips, is he good enough? Is Stuttgart, has his performances at Stuttgart been of a high enough level that we could bring him in as the fourth choice centre back? It's a very, very difficult decision, mate, and one that thankfully Kloppo gets paid the big bucks to answer. But my gut instinct would be that we would sign somebody if Lovren left. Maybe an inexperienced player, I don't know. But I also understand not wanting to block the pathway through for Sepp van den Berg, Kylian Hoover, Nat Phillips or whoever. It's just really difficult, mate. It's really difficult, and thank Christ Kloppo gets paid the big bucks to make these calls. Paul Fallon said Lanzini from West Ham and Nathan Redmond from Southampton will be two signings that you'd like to make in the summer. Redmond has been in Southampton way too long. Ireland should sign him up too. Lanzini we'd looked at. Before he picked up that ACL injury that ruled him out of the World Cup, we did look at Lanzini. He was someone that I don't know how serious that interest was, but we were definitely linked to him. Redmond, as you said, I mean, he's probably quite settled where he is and will stay there. And I don't think he's good enough to play for Liverpool either, if I'm being honest. Lanzini's on the road back to recovery. I mean, he's playing, I know, he's back playing and all, but it takes a long while to get back up to speed, and I think those days are gone as well, so I think we can rule that one out. Connor said Hoffenheim found Firmino on Football Manager, and that's not a joke. He is, that is a fact. Their scouting was done via Football Manager. They found Bobby Firmino, brought him into Hoffenheim, and look, hey, here he is at Liverpool now. Man's winning Champions Leagues and hopefully a Premier League. Heller said Lovren's contract runs out in 2021, but Liverpool has an option for one more year. Remember, Lovren's Salah's best mate. Mate, look, honestly, I get where you're coming from, and he loves getting the coffee in, El Degsy, and I like Dejan Lovren as a person. I imagine he's great to have around the club, and he would bleed and die for that shirt. But he is getting on. He is 31, something like that, 30, 31. And if Klopp's going to say to him, look, Dejan, your playing time is going to be severely limited, and somebody, let's say a Lazio, a Roma, an Inter, somebody in Italy comes in and says, we can give you a starting position every week, Dejan, then, maybe at this point of his career, that's what he wants, and that's what I've been seeing around the media, and there's been too many links to Italy over the past few windows for me not to believe that something will eventually happen that will see Degsy move on. What about Spurs signing Bergwijn? Yeah, I spoke about that earlier on, Stephen, as a replacement for Christian Eriksen. Somebody, again, who we had looked at one point and could be a good piece of business. Yeah, you're right. Daniel Levy is quite astute in the transfer market when he needs to be, and I think this is definitely interesting. Let's put it that way. The lad is a talent. It's just how will he develop and how high is his ceiling, but I think it was the low 20s, 23 million, Stephen, I think, something like that, which does make it very interesting and decent value in this market. So I think definitely worth a punt from Spurs. Should Liverpool sign a big player in the summer? Said M. Shaq, yes, 100%, mate. I think we will, for the reasons we've said over and over again. Nike will want something to happen. And it's very difficult to improve a very good squad, but I think we're going to see Shaqiri move on. Lallana's contract is up. Pedro Chirivella actually was linked to a loan move to, I think it was Hull or somewhere. I can't remember exactly where it was, but there's no way in hell that Liverpool. Where is it? Oh, Charlton. Charlton are reportedly interested in taking Pedro Chirivella on loan, which would make absolutely no sense for Liverpool because one, his contract's up at the end of the season, and we're going to want him for the FA Cup replay. So, yeah, I don't see us loaning him to Charlton. So I think we can rule that one out. Most underrated player in Liverpool, Origi, is what Casually Worked said. I would still say Jordan Henderson. Jordan Henderson, Gini Wijnaldum, for me, will always be vastly underrated by many, both Liverpool fans and non-Liverpool fans. But I love Origi as well, mate. But for me, I would go with Hendo or Gini. Carl said the AFCON in January next year will take Mo and Mane away and Keita as well, if Guinea qualify. For the best part of 2 months, could you see one of them be moved on as a result? No. I've said my gut instinct, Carl, is that not this summer coming, the following summer. I have just my own gut instinct, not based off anything else. I think one of them will move on, or we will move one of them on. Because football is a ruthless business, as we know, and I don't like to give United or Sir Alex Ferguson credit for anything, but he was very clever at knowing when is the right time to move a player on. And I just wonder if, again, not this summer coming, the following summer, if one of those two, I don't think Firmino will be going anywhere. I think if anybody was to leave, it would most likely be Salah or Mane. Again, all just my opinion, all hypothetical and all a very fucking long time away. But I can't see any of them moving this summer. I really can't. Kev, how are you, mate? Welcome back into the chat. What else we got? United fans firing flares at Ed Woodward's house. Absolute scumbags. He has young twins. Oh, I hope that isn't true. Look, yeah, I can't condone that in any way, shape or form. Thanks, Craig. Love your channel. My pleasure, mate. Thank you for watching and thank you for the comment. Firmino underrated, said Big Man Steve. Opposition fans criminally underrated Bobby Firmino for the longest time, mate. But yeah, I think now they're finally starting to see what we've all seen for a very, very long time. Right, Crosby's sending me WhatsApp messages, which James Ducker. So as per at Mullock S. Mirror. Ed Woodward's Cheshire home was attacked by 20 to 30 balaclava-clad United fans around 8 p.m. tonight. Woodward and his family weren't home, thankfully. Depressing story, which is a tweet that Connor pulled for me there from Twitter. You can't condone that shit. I mean, Ed Woodward, United fans don't like. I mean, I don't know how shit or great he is as his job. I've no idea, nor do I give a fuck because he's to do with United. But what I can say is that there's lines you don't cross. And that is a line you do not cross. You do not go to a man's home or a woman's home and attack it like that. Whether they have kids or not, the fact that they have kids makes it even more terrifying. And as the journalist said there, thankfully nobody was home and nobody was injured. But I genuinely hope that the police find those 20 to 30 scumbags and arrest every fucking last one of them, and that the book is thrown at them, and that they're banned from football and all sport for a very long time. I'm saddened to hear that. Genuinely saddened to hear that from a footballing fan's perspective. Yeah, it's just sad day for football that type of shit goes on again. Craig, what's your thoughts on Klopp skipping the FA Cup replay? Thank you for the super chat, Joel. My thoughts are, mate, that the authorities need to take a very long, hard look at things. So I understand that the Premier League have given clubs the winter break, and that the Premier League are the ones that sent out the letter to Klopp and other clubs last April to say that they would like the clubs to respect the winter break and to not set up lucrative friendlies in China or Malaysia or Australia or wherever it might be. And that's what Liverpool have done here. Now, you bring into account the fact that it's the FA Cup, which is a different body altogether, and that replay has been scheduled to take place when Liverpool are on that break, when Liverpool have given their players that week off that they were urged to do, and not to set up games during that period. Remember that the Premier League told us, don't play any games, no money spinning friendlies, nothing like that. So I think Jurgen Klopp is absolutely right, and I think that a line has to be drawn in the sand. We've seen so many managers, Klopp, Guardiola, Pochettino at the time, I'm fairly sure Mourinho, they've all spoken about the fact that the players need a winter break. And now there's a winter break here, and Liverpool, like we were in the Carabao Cup, and it's us this time, it could be another club going forward, so I'm not saying that this is, everyone's attacking Liverpool. What I'm saying is that very fucking short-sighted yet again. Liverpool were forced to put out a shambolic under-23 team in the Carabao Cup against Aston Villa because we were successful in winning the Champions League and going over to play in the Club World Cup. So yeah, I think Klopp is rightly drawing a line in the sand, and Klopp has to look after the best interests of Liverpool Football Club and his players, and I fully back his stance. And anybody from the outside that is saying otherwise, fuck him. Do you think the last year the point difference was between us and... Do you know this time last year what the points difference was between us and City? Not off the top of my head, mate, no, sorry. United fans complaining about the club not spending money if they've forgotten United spent nearly £1 billion since Ferguson left, and they're paying ridiculous wages as well. What was Alexi Sanchez getting paid for making that music video of him playing the piano? Because that's about all he did at United. Mark, how are you, Mark Cook? Welcome in, buddy. Right, ladies and gents, going to do another 5 minutes before we finish up tonight. So again, I'm not sure if we have hit our 100th member of the Anfield Agenda family, but if you haven't signed up, that's a special number. Become member number 100. Hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and again, keep your comments coming for the last few minutes. We'll be here tomorrow at 7:15 with a watch-along of the West Ham game, another massive game for the Reds. Kent Coastal Holiday, let's Carl, how are you? I hope you and Julie are well. No, I don't sub. 1 year ago was my support. How am I tonight? I'm good, thank you, Mark. Yeah, I'm really good. Looking forward to another Liverpool game tomorrow, mate. It's actually mind blown United paid 80 million for that Maguire. I've said this on Twitter. It's like we should really go back and give Southampton more money for Virgil van Dijk even £1 more than United paid for Harry Maguire, because Harry Maguire being the most expensive defender in world football is a fucking embarrassment to the sport. Let's be quite frank about it. Like, he's a good centre back, but for him to be the world's most expensive centre back, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say. Joe Morris said Ole said today that bring back Sanchez for next season and Sanchez will prove everyone wrong. No, he won't. Oh, no, he did say that. But did you see Joel in that press conference when Ole said that? One of the media that were there said, seriously? You could hear him saying that after Solskjaer came out with that statement. Sanchez is finished. Sanchez has been a fucking flop and he's got paid way too much money to do way too little. At Inter, I believe there was issues around his fitness. But look, that's United's problem, and long may that problem continue. And long may he be milking off their wages. What do I think is the most promising youth player at Liverpool? Whew. That's a really difficult question. Curtis Jones, Harvey Elliott, Ryan Brewster, or Kylian Hoover. One of those four. I think that Curtis Jones is the one closest to making that step to the first team. Oh, but that's a difficult one, mate. That's difficult. I'm going to go with Curtis Jones, because I think he's the one that's most guaranteed to be a Liverpool starter over the next few years. But God, I rate them all. I rate Ryan Brewster, I rate Harvey Elliott and Kylian Hoover massively. It's a difficult question, that one, pal. What's the update on Mane? The good news, Raheem, is that he's only going to miss a couple of games, mate. Klopp confirmed that it was a little muscle tear. He's going to miss the game against West Ham. He's going to miss the game against Southampton, but he should be back after that, all going well. So, again, good news, mate, because a lot of us were fearing it was going to be longer than that. Flair said we'll go for Jones as the most promising. Jones, but Elliott's only 16, said Big Man Steve. Should Trent play in midfield in the future? No. And here's why. I know it's a very quick answer and you're probably going, alright mate, relax there. But I keep going back to Neil Atkinson of the Anfield rap. Something that's always stuck in my head. I remember him saying that there'll come a time where Trent Alexander-Arnold needs to sit down with the Liverpool manager, let's say Klopp, and decide if he wants to go on to become a very good midfielder or he wants to be the best right back in world football for many, many, many years to come. Now, I'm paraphrasing what Neil Atkinson said there, but it stuck with me. And yes, Trent started his career in midfield, and yes, Trent could easily go into midfield, but look at the numbers that the kid is doing from right back or right wing back position. So for me, keep him there, and we don't need to worry about it. Just leave him be there. That's just my opinion on it, though. Connor said Wade Jones is only 18. Did you not know that, mate? Yeah, that's what makes it all the more impressive about Curtis Jones, is that the dude is still so young. Where was Brian? Brian had his players there in order. Let me get it up. Where's Brian's comments? You broke it up for me there, mate. You've gone Jones. Oh, Jones, Neco Williams, Harvey Elliott and Ryan Brewster is Brian's in that order. Look, ladies and gentlemen, gonna call that one a night. Thank you so much for watching. Great to have you with us again. I hope we'll see you tomorrow for the watch along. We will of course have a post-match show after that as well. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and check out the 888 Sport video that I did with Chelsea Rory Jennings, Stephen McKierney, aka Esteemed Company, myself and Lee Chappie. And if you don't know who Lee Chappie is, he's the Jamie Vardy lookalike who's a Leicester fan. Please do check out that video, comment on there, spam Anfield Agenda on the video. Make sure you let them know that you're watching from Anfield Agenda so they know that we've sent you guys over. And thank you for your love and support as always. I'll chat to you tomorrow. Up the motherfucking Reds.